What's up, guys? It's Nathan over here at Reef Gear at Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, and today we're going to be talking about how to rig the Salvimar Wild Pro spear gun. So what is special about this spear gun? Well, this is, here at Reef Runner, the $100 spear gun. Screw-on bands, 40 centimeters, 50 centimeters, 60 centimeters, or 75 centimeters. Perfect for your sheep's head, black sea bass, tautog, you name it. This is the gun for shooting the little fish. So, if you guys would like to follow me on over here to my work table, we are going to go over how it's done. Come on. So, check it out. You're going to need a couple of things here. First of all, your Wild Pro spear gun, straight out of the bag or straight from the store, however it comes. If you order it online, this is how it's going to arrive. Barcode on there and everything. Second, crimping tool that has different diameters. We're going to be using a 1.5 to 2 millimeter hole right there. You need a bungee. Whether that bungee be a snap swivel bungee or a pigtail swivel bungee does not matter, purely based on preference, but you need one or the other. It can be rubber or silicone. This one here is rubber. If you can find silicone, that's great. That tends to last a little longer, be more resistant to corrosion. And finally, a few 1.8 or 1.9 millimeter crimps. The gun comes with these crimps, but if you can find some, that is great, because the Salvimar ones are less than optimal. And finally, you're going to want a Reef Runner soft tip. Save your friends, save your gunnels, save yourself a lot of headaches with your tip protector there. So, let's get this bad boy out of the bag. Inside the bag, you have your gun with the bands attached already. Goodie bag with monofilament, a few spare parts, your crimps, and your manual, and notched shaft. You see that there? And this notch shaft comes with an artificial metal wishbone. These will tear through Dyneema wishbone, so do not use bands with standard Dyneema wishbones with this shaft. Use the artificial ones. So, first things first, take our shaft, pop her into the gun. So when you're loading this gun, just slide your shaft under this bad boy here, under the bands, pull it down here to the trigger mechanism and pop it in there. It's locked in, not going anywhere. Alright guys, I noticed in editing this video I totally forgot to mention that before you begin rigging up your shaft or crimping things or anything, you need to install your bungee here onto the gun. So to do that, what you're going to do is just lay the gun out so that it's on the side with your line release sitting like this, and you're going to insert your bungee through this hole right here at the nose of the gun. You're going to insert it on the same side as that line release there. So what you do in order to make this easier for yourself is take your crimping tool and use that 1.5 to 2 millimeter slot there in order to sort of pinch down your bungee. So what I mean by that is you're going to take this end here and you're going to take your crimping tool and just use that 1.5 2 millimeter slot to sort of and run it through there just so it's nice and straight, so it's solid. This is just to make it easier to insert it in through that hole. So now that I've got it nice and straight like that, I'm going to take it. Here's my gun. Notice line release on this side. Follow it up, and now I'm going to take this bungee, get it so you guys can see, and just insert that into the gun like so, and you're just going to sort of inchworm it through there, and eventually it'll come out the other side.
So you see now it's beginning to come out here, and then just use, yeah.
There, like so. So now you're going to open that up like so. You're going to take the opposite end of your bungee with the snap clip on it, insert it through the loop, and then get it nice like that. Then you're just going to tighten this here loop down over the bungee. Your end result will be this right here. Let me move my headphones out of the way. Should look like this when it's all said and done. So that's it. Now your bungee's installed, and now you're ready to rig up your shaft with your monofilament. Now, got that set up. We're going to get our monofilament out of the bag. This monofilament is cut from the factory to be a good length. Usually you'll have some excess, so when you're rigging it, you just cut that off when you're done. So what we're going to do, take one end of your monofilament here, and in your shaft there's a hole below the bottom notch. What you're going to do, before you do that, you're going to slide one of your crimps onto your monofilament like so. Once that's on there, you're going to slide it through this hole right here. Just insert it into that shaft like so. Now you're going to pull that through, and then you're going to slide that crimp up a little bit, and then you're going to reinsert the monofilament into the other side of that crimp. You're going to insert it into the direction which it previously exited through, like so. Boom. Now you want to pull that little loop down. You want it to be long enough that it can flop back and forth efficiently, so that when you're loading your gun or when you shoot it, it can flip back, get out of the way of the bands. And this piece up here, show it with this, so just be mindful of that. And you're going to take your crimps, and these crimps are sold here at Reef Runner Gear in Wrightsville Beach, and online at maverick-america.com as well. Stick these in that 1.5 to 2 millimeter slot. You're going to do 3 crimps. You're going to do one at the bottom, one at the top. If I can get this thing lined up here. That's 2, and then finally one in the middle, just to even things out real nicely. 3. You see that? It's a little ugly, but it's strong. That's not going anywhere. So, now for the fun part. Take your line through the bands, through this bit. Just go ahead and get the end of it, make it easier. Through this bit here, pull it through. Make sure this is nice and straight down here. Sweet. Now, through this groove at the nose of the gun, on the right side of the shaft, facing down from the top and down, put on your line release. Remember, your shaft has to be loaded into the gun in order for that to work. And don't forget, with this first wrap, I want to get around this little groove here and onto this notch, just so it's out of the way of the shaft when you're loading the gun. So once again, on your line release there, and you're going to bring it, wrap it around this notch here that flips up and down. It's a little flimsy, but you just have to work it with your hands and you'll be alright. back around your line release, and I would do 1 or 2, even 3 wraps on these guns. For this one, we're just going to do 1 just for demonstrative purposes. Make sure that stays on the opposite side of the snap clip. It's the end of your monofilament. Now you're going to take this, insert it through the side the mono previously exited through, just as you did in your first crimp when rigging it up to the shaft. You pull it nice and tight, slide that up there. And this hole, it does not matter how large or small this one is. Preferably this one would be as wide as your thumb. And then we're just going to do the same thing. Find that 1.5 to 2 millimeter slot. Crimp that bad boy down. And there you go. And now you've got a little bit of excess monofilament on there. All you're going to do is snip that off with your cold forged steel crimping pliers here, available for purchase at Reef Runner Dive Gear. And boom, let's get that cut nice and clean if we want to. Alright, so just a few notes, features on this gun. It's got a safety, so push it to the right, safety's on, so nothing's happening. Push it to the left, pull that trigger, boom. Bands are not loaded, so nothing happened. But let's do a little POV action. Gage, I'm going to have you hold the gun for me for just a second, and I'm going to demonstrate how this gun works. So this is just with 1 wrap. Hold that again. This will be the range of the Wild Pro 40 with just the 1 wrap. So as you can see, that's about, what would you say, 10 feet?
About 10 feet.
About 10 feet. So if you're just hanging around jetties, docks and stuff, that is more than enough range with that 1 wrap there. I wouldn't use this thing for big fish or anything like that. You could try, but you'll be giving yourself a run for your own money, and I never recommend that. So once again, Nathan here at Reef Runner, and don't forget,
What you got?
and don't forget your Reef Runner soft tip protector on the boat. If you like your boat, you like your friends, you'll like this bad boy right here. So once again, thank you guys for watching. This is the Wild Pro 40 by Salvimar.